My fiancée said her ex would always be more exciting than me, so I quietly transferred the honeymoon tickets into my name and took someone else instead. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reddit Visuals. It's crazy how people can smile in your face, promise forever, and still treat you like a backup plan. I used to believe that love alone was enough to make someone loyal, but this taught me that some people only love the thrill of using you until they find something shinier. I'm 34, a pretty regular guy. I work in healthcare, have a decent apartment, a circle of good friends, and a big soft spot for romantic gestures. That's how I ended up with Lauren, my ex-fiancée. She was 32, gorgeous, funny in that slightly sarcastic way that keeps you on your toes, and she had a smile that made people look twice. We met at a mutual friend's game night, and it felt like magic. She teased me for being a rules guy, always checking the board game instructions, and I teased her for being competitive. The first 6 months were amazing. Weekend trips, spontaneous cooking disasters, late-night drives just to talk. I thought she was the one. She had an ex, Ryan, a thrill-seeker type. Skydiving, mountain biking, surprise trips to countries I can't even spell. She said they were over because he couldn't commit, and I believed her. I proposed after 2 years. It wasn't extravagant. Just a rooftop dinner under fairy lights, the city skyline behind us. She cried. She said yes. We started planning the wedding and honeymoon together. It was supposed to be the perfect fairy tale until small cracks started to show. One night, 3 months before the wedding, we were at her place, flipping through honeymoon resorts on her laptop. I suggested something peaceful in the Maldives. Private villas, soft beaches, perfect for newlyweds. She hesitated. Then she sighed and said, "It's nice, but Ryan and I went to Bali once, and it was just more exciting. You know?" I froze. "Exciting?" I repeated. "Yeah," she said casually, not even looking up. "You're stable, which I love, but sometimes I miss that rush, that thrill. He just made life feel like a movie." My stomach sank. I didn't even know what to say. Here I was, planning a life with this woman, and she was telling me, flat out, that her ex made her feel more alive than I did. I laughed it off in the moment, pretended it didn't hurt, but I didn't sleep that night. Her words rattled in my brain like bullets. A week later, it got worse. We were at dinner with her friends, celebrating her bridal shower. Someone asked about our honeymoon plans. Before I could answer, Lauren said, "Yeah, we're thinking Maldives, though I told him Bali is still the gold standard. Ryan really set the bar high." Everyone laughed politely. I smiled tightly. Inside, I was breaking. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling like a fool. I remembered every time I had bent over backward for her, driving across town at midnight because she had a craving for a specific dessert, spending weekends helping her paint her office, surprising her with flowers just because. None of it seemed to matter because I wasn't exciting enough. And then one afternoon I overheard her on the phone with her best friend. She didn't know I'd come home early. She said, "He's sweet, but sometimes I wonder if I'm settling. Ryan was chaos, but God, he made me feel alive. I just don't feel that with him all the time." I felt like someone had punched me. My hands were shaking. That night, I didn't confront her. I just started thinking differently. If I was a placeholder in her head, I wasn't going to let her walk all over me. The honeymoon was fully booked, business class flights, 5-star villas, all in my name because I paid for everything. Lauren had insisted she wanted it all handled, and I thought I was being the responsible fiancé. 2 weeks before the wedding, I made a decision that would change everything. I quietly called the airline and the resort. I confirmed the reservations, updated the notes, and after checking the terms, transferred the second guest to someone else. No penalty, just a small fee. They didn't even ask questions. Then, 3 days before the wedding, I overheard another conversation. She was on FaceTime with a friend, laughing, saying, "Sometimes I feel like I'm marrying the safe option. But hey, at least he's paying for the dream honeymoon, right?" That was it. That was the moment my love snapped like glass. The night before the wedding, I packed a single suitcase. I left a simple note on her kitchen counter. "Safe can still disappear. Enjoy explaining this to everyone." Then I drove to the airport. She didn't realize anything until the morning of the wedding when she woke up to a dozen missed calls from the venue and no groom. I was already on a plane, business class champagne in hand, sitting next to my plus one, someone who had always been there for me, my college best friend, Jenna. She'd been my rock through my doubts about the engagement, and when I invited her on a last-minute escape vacation, she didn't even ask for details. When we landed, I finally turned my phone back on. Explosions. Dozens of texts, voicemails, social media mentions. Lauren's first message. "Where are you? People are arriving. This isn't funny. How could you humiliate me like this?" By then, I was sipping a cocktail in an infinity pool, the ocean stretching to the horizon. Word got out fast. Her friends, her family, everyone found out. Apparently, she tried to spin it like I got cold feet, but then her best friend leaked screenshots of her saying I was boring and the safe option, and that she was just in it for the stability. People roasted her online. 2 days into the trip, I got an email from her, long, angry, then tearful, then apologetic. She said she didn't mean it, that I was everything she ever wanted, that she just got scared. She begged me to come home and fix this. I didn't reply. Instead, I posted one photo on my private social, a sunset over the ocean, 2 champagne glasses clinking, and the caption, "Safe can be paradise." I met a girl, Jenna, and we had the time of our lives. We swam with dolphins, ate ridiculous meals, and laughed until our faces hurt. For the first time in months, I felt alive, and not because I was chasing chaos, but because I wasn't letting myself be disrespected anymore. When I finally came home, my apartment was spotless. Lauren had cleared out her things. No note, no closure. But I didn't need it. Months later, I heard she tried to get back with Ryan. He turned her down. Then she moved to another city. Me? I learned that love isn't about being exciting enough for someone else's broken expectations. It's about mutual respect. And the second someone makes you feel like a placeholder in your own life, you have to take your power back. So, was I the a-hole for taking the honeymoon I paid for and leaving her at the altar? What would you have done? Drop your verdict in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more wild Reddit tales.